So we're on page 26. And we need to look at, well, this thing called the change of base formula, evaluating logarithms. Here's the point.
Pat, there's a quiz on Tuesday.
What type of quiz?
Surprise. It's a surprise.
There's a surprise quiz on logs on Tuesday. It's a surprise quiz because you're going to forget, but don't forget. There's a quiz on Tuesday.
Is that stuff that we didn't?
Everything we've done, so 8.4 through 8.6. Converting and evaluating, graphing, and the properties.
Stuff we just
Yes.
Like, Dylan, remember from like chapter 1?
What?
So this stuff's on
All
our
that
quiz.
stuff, like some quiz.
No, it's not.
I'm going to let you figure that one out. Okay, so listen.
Another midterm?
So listen. What's log base 2 of 7?
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. I don't know.
Why don't you know?
Because we can't do that.
Okay, if I asked you log base 2 of 4, you could do that, right? Answer is 2. What's log base 4 of 8? 3. I don't know what this is, but I know it's between 2 and 3. We finally need to figure out how to do this. Now, your calculator has a log base 10 button. Some calculators also have another log button. We're not going to do that. We're going to see how we can use log base 10. There is a formula called the change of base formula that lets us do any type of logarithm on the calculator. Hold on. Here's what this looks like. If I want to do log base b of m, well, because the calculator has a log base 10 button, I'm going to use log base 10, although really it can be used with any type of base. This is going to be the log base 10 of m divided by the log base 10 of b. Or what's our symbol for log base 10? Just log with no number there. I can do this calculation. So let me show you what this really means. I want to figure out how to do log base 2 of 7. Come on in. There is stuff under there, and I wrote you a long note on one of the clipboards of various things that needs to happen. That needs to go. The other box needs to go.
That one?
The scooter box.
The middle of our lesson.
Should I ride them?
No, you cannot. Please read my note very carefully, and I'll be done by about 1:15. Okay. Thank you. I don't know if that's going to happen or not. So watch.
You can eat it right now.
So watch. So watch. So watch. You're not watching and listening.
I'm watching and listening at the same time.
Okay. Log base 2 of 7. We can do this in terms of log base 10. On your calculator, we can do the problem log base 10 of 7 divided by log base 10 of 2. You're going to type this in as, in parentheses, log 7 divided by log 2.
There's log 2.
Log 7 divided by log 2.
We're allowed to do that?
You are.
That's what he just said.
That is this new change of base formula.
Whoa. It's a big number.
It's 2.81. So where do we round it?
Oh, wait, I have the next two questions.
Or you know what? I feel like the calculators don't even need all that. If we say log 7 divided by log 2, like that, I think that'll work too. 2.807?
Yeah, that's what I got.
2.807? That seems right.
So, for right now, let's go out to the thousandths place. So that's going to be 3 places. I'm going to say this answer is about 2.807. Well, I knew it was going to be between 2 and 3. Let's check this. Go do 2 raised to the 2.807. It's not going to give you 7.
Because you rounded it. Yeah, you got it.
But it's pretty close to 7. And it's not 7 exactly because I did some rounding to get the 2.807.
What if I want 7?
If you typed in the entire thing, it would be closer to 7. If you use the entire last thing, including things that aren't on the calculator, it would be exactly 7. Very good.
No.
Raise your hand if you're having trouble getting 2.807.
And then what did you want us to do? Put it to the 7?
Hold on.
Okay, wait.
What do you want us to do? Plug it in. No, wait, see, you got it. Raise it to that power. Wait, what? Oh my god. Dude, what are you saying? Put it as it now, or do I raise it?
You're going to get my hand.
This is the do you know how logs work?
Okay, so next,
2 raised to this
letter B.
7.
I want to do log base 3 of 76. To go to the calculator, we are going to type in log 76 divided by log 3. What's your question? No. Type it in and go.
Yeah, I don't know who that was, but
We're typing this in, I hope. Oh, that's the problem. You gotta close the parentheses. Well, no one's closes. None of them close automatically. You gotta type the button. Close the parentheses. Ask me when you remember. Can we get about 3.942?
Now I can.
that's what I got.
Wait, I didn't type it in there.
Another
3.942003666.
So,
Alright, what about the next one?
So listen, I'm writing this stuff for right now just to kind of show you what we're doing. Honestly, if you just give me the answer, I'm going to be okay with that. One of the few times I'm okay with that. Patrick,
I plugged it back in and it's not exactly 76.
is it very close?
I did the whole thing.
That's the problem. You're not actually doing the whole thing. You're actually doing like 10 decimal places, but the whole thing goes on forever, and the calculator can't even store all those things. So, only because it's still doing some rounding when it's plugging back in. I would like you to try C and D quickly on your own. Please do C and D quickly on your own. Because this is really just the beginning of today. This is the easy part. We are done at 1. Jeez, okay, we've got to move. I thought we had like 45 more minutes.
Oh, this one's perfect.
Wait, why are we?
I think and I feel like you should be able to think about D and realize why it is what it is. You're fine. You're fine. You're totally fine. What's D? Did you actually need a calculator for that? No, because you know, basically everything you know still applies, but now we can just deal with those numbers that don't work out perfectly, and we can use the calculator for that. Again, for work on these, this is the one place I don't actually need to see work. If you just give me the answer, we're good. Now, here's one of the reasons we just talked about this. We need to start looking at solving exponential equations. We already did a little bit of that, but we're going to look at different exponential equations now. And then logarithmic equations. For example, 2 raised to the x equals 153. We were not able to do a problem like this before because 153 is not a good number. But Patrick thinks he has an idea.
Alright, so we're going to go back to like when we started learning about logs and they do like the circle thing. And we're going to write that as a log and solve for x.
That is exactly the idea. Basically, I need to listen. I have a problem in exponential form. I'm going to convert it to log form. However, step number 1, which does not matter in this problem, but will matter in some other problems, we need to get the exponential piece by itself. If there was a +3 or a ×4, get rid of those things. So step number 1, and we'll see some of those in a moment, get the exponential piece by itself. Not an issue in this problem. Then, we are going to convert to log form. Convert to log form. What I mean by that is, remember how we started 2 to the 3rd equals 8, which meant the same thing as log base 2 of 8 equals 3? That's what I'm talking about here. And I also showed you Mrs. Eburn's little circle method, log base 2 of 8 equals 3. 2 to the 3rd equals 8. I am going to rewrite this problem as log base 2 of 153 equals x. Well, now, we'll just evaluate using this new formula that we learned. We're going to evaluate using the change base formula.
You just put the
log 153 divided by log 2.
I don't get why you do that.
So we can't go really into why this method works. You're going to see why this formula works in pre-calc. Right now, we're just using it. It's just a rule. It lets us do a lot of things, though. In the box, thank you. And no, you were here yesterday, so there's not stuff for you in the box. Never mind. Thank you. Evaluate using the change of base formula. So please go to your calculator and do your log base 2 of 153. Unless I tell you otherwise, let's stick to 3 places today. 7.257. There's one more step that's not going to matter here, but will matter in other problems. We're just going to solve what's left. No, not what you're thinking. That'll come later. We're going to solve what's left. So if we had like 2x minus 3 equals this number, well, I would add 3, divide by 2. Solve what's left. We'll see one of those in a moment. It's really not going to be a big deal. The really important part is that converting part. It's in exponential form. I want to write it in log form. That's how I get variables out of powers. Going back to our word problem, need to move up a little bit. Going back to our word problems, remember that problem where we had to find the power and we did horrible like guessing and checking and plugging in? Well, to do it for real, we can use these logs, basically rewrite a problem in log form and go. We'll look at that by the middle of next week. But basically, it's going to be the same thing we just did over here. It should have been attached to the. Ooh, did I not rip them out? They're up here on my clipboard. Thank you. So, next, turn the page.
What is number 4?
What was what? On number 4, solve what's left. Here we go. Letter A. I am going to rewrite this in log form. Log what base? Of equals 5x. Go to your calculator. Okay, so there is something we got to deal with here. But go to the calculator, get an answer, and write 3 decimal places. Because I'm still going to be picky about, show all your work and stuff. We should be getting 2.680 equals 5x. Now, I am going to write this, but I'm not actually going to use 2.680. Watch carefully. Watch carefully. What do you do next? Divide by 5. I don't want to divide this rounded answer by 5, though. I want to take the entire thing that was still on the calculator and just push the divide by 5 button on that. I'm going to write it like this, but we're going to use the calculator, and we're going to get 0.536. Do you get what I'm looking for, though, with the work? Normal work as before. Write this, but don't use it. Use the whole thing that's still on your calculator. There actually is a shortcut in letter B. Letter B, we're going to go into log form. Log base what? 10. Well, hold on to that. Log base 10 of 21 equals 2x minus 7. There are 2 ways you can deal with this. You can go and use your change of base formula. If you think you can come up with another way, use the other way. But do whatever. I thought you just said the other way. Go. Use your change base formula. What's log base 10 to 21? 1.322? Now, I guess here's the deal. I didn't actually need the change of base formula.
No.
Why? So you should have said something. Why? Why do we not need it? It's already a base 10, so really if you just typed in log 21, you'd get that same answer because your calculator can actually handle base 10. If you didn't see that, though, change of base will work. We just don't need to. But what? Oh my gosh. That does not help anything. Next up. Show it. +7 + 7. Yes, I am going to be picky. You're used to that by now. Divide. Divide. Yeah, don't lose points for that. Divide, divide. X is 4.161.
Yes. I like that number.
Seems to be.
Last one of these, and then we'll do log equations.
Subtract
I
9.
Perfect. We can't do this yet. Get the exponential part by itself. So subtract 9, and that's all I'm going to say. You please go deal with the rest.
You have to show it when you're written the log.
Yeah, yes, I definitely need to see I need to see it written as log base 3 of something. I don't need to see how you're using the change of base formula. But basically what I've been doing is the amount of work I need to see.
Hey, where's that plus 9 thing?
Get rid of it.
Oh.
That's what we're doing. That was that first step that we hadn't used yet, but now we're using it. Get the exponential part by itself.
Do you have to write those like curves all the time?
I will not take off if you write equals, but why am I doing that?
Because you're rounding back.
It's not the exact answer. It would be best to do that. No, I won't take off if you say equals. No, don't do that. Toby.
Get it out.
That tells me you're probably just typing something wrong. Whoa, 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 whoa. We can't do like log 2x minus, we can't do any of that stuff. What you need to do on the calculator. Are you okay with how I converted it?
Yeah.
You need to type in log 222 divided by log 3. No x things. We can't do x things. Anything with this?
Nothing.
Next.
What about the one?
Yeah, I'm not actually hungry. I thought I'd be.
Mace, you want it?
Maybe. Log equations. Step number 1, leave a space. I don't want to fill that in yet. Step number 2. I feel like, okay, so now we've got an x inside of our log. Log base 3 of x equals 4. I feel like we could probably figure out what to do. Raise your hand if you have any sort of
You want
thought.
to guess again?
Okay.
You have to write it as exponential form?
All of these equations are just about changing the form. It was in exponential form with the variable inside there.
So
I
what
just
gotta do.
saw like the phone light up. Keep the phone away. I should not see it. Hold on. If it's in exponential form, we'll write it in log form. If it's in log form, we're going to put it into exponential form. So step number 1 is going, Step number 2 is going to be rewrite in exponential form. That means, what number are we going to raise to a power?
3.
3. Raise to the?
X.
No. 4
Sorry.
equals,
X.
and again, we've got Mrs. Eburn's trick. 3 raised to the 4th equals x. Step number 3, solve.
Wait.
Do you need to go use your change of base formula, log 4 divided by log 3?
You just solved it.
What's step 1?
Not yet. What's the answer?
Why?
81. That's it.
Wait, what's step 1?
Not yet.
Tell me,
Not yet.
Tell me.
Oh my gosh.
I need to know.
I am trying to make things easier by not telling it to you until we absolutely need it. Just go with me on this.
So we don't need it?
How about this? How about I make a deal with you? Let's do 2 more problems, then I'll give you step 1.
Then we're done.
Then
Yes. When are you gonna eat lunch?
where's
Leave the poor man alone. He doesn't want to eat the lunch.
He's got a PB&J though.
So, I just don't know what to say. Here we go. Letter A. It's in log form. I would like you to go do the first step of converting it to exponential form. 110. Gosh. Convert to exponential form. Just letter A. Just A.
It's just math.
Dude, I don't know how to math.
You should have 2 to the 9th equals x.
Can I do that with a calculator?
All of these equations we're going to use a calculator for, so go to your calculator.
Yes.
512. 512.
I could have done that with my head.
Okay.
No, I couldn't.
Can we get this?
Yes.
The only difference in letter B is after you convert it, it's not going to equal x, it's going to equal, well, an expression. I think you can do letter B, so please do that and don't go on after that. No, not necessarily.
Guys,
Do letter B, please.
Step one.
And then I'll tell you step 1.
Step 1.
Wait a second. I'm being silly.
I hope that this is what your first line looks like. Yes, I can. I hope that's what your first line looks like. 4 to the 2nd equals the thing that was inside. It is really, really important. If it's in log form, you're not going to have logs in your second step. Every year I get someone who goes like log base 4 of 2. No logs, then no logs. If there weren't logs, then logs. This is 16. 16 equals 3x minus 11. What's the answer? 9. Okay. Any questions so far? Okay. Problem C. Watch. Letter C.
Number C.
Oh.
We cannot deal with problems that have multiple logs in them, like we do in C and we do in D. Is that a hand?
You need to find out before you say it.
Does anyone have an... Yes? You realize if you say something in here and you're wrong, it's okay. You mean like what we learned yesterday? Okay, your wrong answers are different. You are just saying random numbers. Thank you. Step number 1 is going to be, if there are multiple logarithms, turn them into a single one by condensing by using our properties. So, step number 1, going back to our process.
Matt, he's writing.
Turn multiple logs. I really don't know about you. Turn multiple logs into a single log by using the properties. I'm sorry you're disappointed. I am sorry.
You say everything I hope you do.
So, I am not going to do letter C the way it's written. I'm going to turn letter C into log base 3 of what? X over 2. Go do your next step, and when you're done, it's going to equal x over 2. Yes. I hope we are saying this. 3 to the 7th equals x over 2. No, it's not 3 root 7. I feel like you're typing in the right thing, but you're saying words that I don't want you to say. To the power.
I know.
Eventually, yes. That's how we're going to end this.
It's 4,000 units.
You don't know that yet?
Yeah, I did.
Can we get this?
Through my calculator. Yeah.
So what next? Multiply by 2. As usual, show everything you're doing. And we're going to get this. I want to see if you can do D, and I want a fraction answer for D. No decimals. See what you can do in letter D. I want fractions over decimals. I think you're going to first use your properties. Try letter D.
It's a big old
Can you multiply the 3 times 7?
Yes.
Okay.
Toby. Yes.
Big old fraction.
So, we're adding this to
Oh my gosh, guys.
I got 339.
I'm gonna cry. There better be more problems I can cry.
Good stuff with you.
equals. Do you think you could go?
Yeah.
And again, I want fractions rather than decimals for your answer.
Mason. I feel like I'm doing this so well.
Oh, I don't know.
Wait, I have a question, Susan.
It's going to be an ugly fraction, too.
Is there a way you can plug your answer in after and check it?
Yes. Well, sort of. Log of 3 times your number divided by log 4, plus log 7 times your number divided by log 4, and see if it equals 5.
Okay.
I'm not sure if it's going to be worth it.
Seems a little too time.
What do we do now?
We're done. Oh, we're done. It's homework done.
Oh, you have to rewrite it again?
Here's my answer. No,
Yeah, I don't
we're
know
done.
what I'm thinking.
Hold on. I'm not done.
You still gotta eat the lunch.
Okay, couple things to tell you. I will definitely remind you about that. These are going to get a little more involved, but we'll save the harder ones for Tuesday's class.
Oh, you're here?
Now, I will pass out the new cumulative review. Tuesday. So there's no homework due Tuesday. It's family, whatever weekend. However, what is on Tuesday that you're not going to remember?
Surprise quiz!
There's a surprise quiz on Tuesday.
Surprise quiz.
Why, Mr. Wickstrom?